Okay. Another one is your school online databases. No, so I'm sure your library has a portal that can that can that that has something like a repository of all the journals that your school or that your institution is in partner with. Say for example, for Siliman, we have our own resources here. I think our librarians are here. I am promoting our university library website here, just to illustrate an example of an ebook. I mean, online resources as part of our searching. So just like this is the we have the so-called online public access catalog. You have the advanced search, and for sure you will have something like this, a portal where it opens or it links to another journal. So say for example, Fulet, we have the Atla, Sinal. It relative or very dependent to the subscription of your own university, because there's a lot, no? Sometimes I often hear, it's so difficult to find a literature because we don't have books in the library, or we don't have journal in the library. You don't need to have a physical journal in all of this because there are available online. No, I've been always joking this to my colleague. I have many publications, but very rare that I visited physically the library and get the journal because majority of my references are really online, no, and taken from the online advanced pa. I mean, the most updated pa, and you can connect with the authors if you are part in the network. Let's say for example your research area is digital technology, and if you are part into it, it's gonna actually easy for you to access, because every time a member will post a publication or a paper, you will be notified that there is a paper being uploaded to your network. And then, you can chat with that author somewhere in the world, and then you can get a copy from them for free. Many of the authors will give, based on my experience, will really share their publication because they are also after to be cited. They wanted also to be cited, again because of the so-called impact factor or citation factor. So you can go to online references, ebooks, and etc., because there are free and you don't need to pay. There are some, especially in the Science Direct. If you will click on Science Direct, if you click the Science Direct, it will look like this. Some are free, some are not. No, if you notice, I think many universities like Silliman, I think USJR also, uh, there was a time that we were given access by Science Direct as part of the initiative of the Commission on Higher Education. I remember this in 2013, my first time to be immersed with Science Direct. And then parang nalula ako sa sobrang dami ng literature, and I was afraid na I cannot anymore access it. What I did, I was able to download around 5,000 papers. 5,000 papers. 5,000 papers, because I feel that it's a rare opportunity that I have given that kind of account, no? But uh, kasi Science Direct, they have a different, it's a multidisciplinary. They have like this, no? You can have books, let's say for example journals, and if that is journal, they have so many journals linked into this database. It's an online database. You just imagine if you have an account and then you can access all of them. That's what I did way back 2013. I've downloaded almost 5,000 papers, no, because I thought our account in Science Direct. Actually, our account access has ended. My account is still valid, but you cannot anymore access those who are not free. Actually, there are free versions also of here in the Science Direct. Say, for example, if I will search, if you will just search, let's say, digital technology, it will give you 600,000 result, but it depends. If you will see sign in, that is where you cannot download it for free. But just like this is for free. So you can download it. Okay. But some, say for example, uh, let's try to look. You will notice like open access, so meaning you can download it for free. Open access, full text access. So like this. Okay. So you can access them in full. So sciencedirect.com, you can add that in your list. Sciencedirect.com. Okay. Another one, which is also helpful, is the online databases. Say, for example, Wikipedia. Wikipedia is a good starter to find a literature review. Say, for example, if you're coming from the nursing department, you can search list of nursing journals. List of nursing journals, and then you will see like this. Let me share my screen. So this is Wikipedia, and if you will see list of nursing journals, and then you will see all the journals related to your field. Let's say for education, list of education journal. And then you will see a lot of education journal there, and then you can just click each of these. Okay. So you can do that. No, wikipedia.org. Now, while Wikipedia is a wiki, no, you don't need actually to cite the Wikipedia. What you can do is it's just like a portal from here. Once you have all the list of journals that you are looking for, then you can just click them individually, like the one I go on. No, and then you can read who owns this journal, what is the indexing value, and other items that you'd like to check. Mm-hmm. Okay. After that, you can also try this one. So I already shared sciencedirect.com. You can also try ocwmit.edu, though this is specialized to education, no? Education and some sciences. ocw.mit.edu is an open course where you can get materials, not just journal, but a teaching material that you can use as part of your reference. Mga case studies, you can also download that. Let me share with you how it looks like. Um, I will put it on the screen. OCW and the ScienceDirect a while ago. So you can click on that OCW on your screen, and then when you open it, it will look like this screen too. So say for example, what courses you are looking. I'm looking for a particular topic. I'm looking for education. There are also business topic, energy topic, engineering, fine arts, health and medicine, humanities. So say for example, you're looking for teaching and education, and then and and if you are looking like concept centered teaching, you can click on that. Then you can view the entire course, and then you can download all the materials. Say for example like this, I will download this and then start the download. Everything are in the PDF, I mean in zip file. And then your zip file will look like this. Let me share the zip file here. Download file, and all the contents are here. So actually when you download your OCW file, this one, it will look like this. When I extract it to my, okay, once it is extracted, all you have to do is to start, and then you can open it, and there you go. Take note, this is already in my local computer, meaning you don't need an internet connection anymore once it is being downloaded, because the file is in a browser base, meaning you don't need to find where is the syllabus, where is the assignment, because it will look like the same like how it is being presented in the online version. No? So like syllabus, assignments, study materials, you can also download the different PDF, and this is for free. You don't need to sign in from the website. Like this one, this is already at the local host. So even if I don't have internet connection, I can still access all the file because the entire OCW is being downloaded. I hope you were able to follow, and you try browsing it. You try finding your own topic. Baka may topic ka na tinuturo and you don't have a material to teach. I normally get my material here. No? Say for example, HR, I'm teaching HR right now. And then, let's say business, you can do human resource management, and I downloaded all my case studies also from here. Oh, diba? To my students who are here, now you know where I got all my materials. So I got all the materials here, and then if you are diligent enough, in every course material there are also answers, no? So there are answer key actually, especially kung mga essay questions nga exercises, may mga answer keys na pino-provide yung OCW writer. Do you have question? If you have question, feel free to unmute yourself. para naman makapag-relax ako in talking. So technology and working, you can download and the entire course will be downloaded. Let me illustrate, let me show you an example of a complete, let me check. I think this is complete. Materials, study materials. Yeah, guest speaker. Okay, biochemistry. Exercises like this one. If ups. Okay. Study materials like biochemistry, molecule, shape, game, exercise, and key. So when I download this is the exercise, and then there's a answer key in every question there. Okay. Sige. So that is OCW, part of searching tool. I'm checking the chat if you have some questions. Okay. So wala. Let me proceed. Okay. So aside from the online databases, we also have the so-called library.harvard.edu. So what is this? It's also a form of online crawler where what Harvard is doing is collect all the journals from the different journals, open journals in the world, and then you put them in one interface, in one portal. So library.harvard.edu. It is also free. No? You can either sign in, you can register, or you may not register. Just like this, I will put it on the chat box so that you can just click on it. So harvard.edu.com. So this is how it looks like. Sorry, library.harvard.edu. Okay. So for example, I'm looking for a topic about e-learning. Okay. And then this will give you tons of journals and books rather. No, you can actually filter this down. You can just library catalog. You can also research books and media. It's similar, the same process with the other free online journal. Or let's say, for example, you are familiar with the author and you just you forgot where to locate that author. No? So Dave Marshall. And then you can find all the available. What is good to this is I think yung crawler ng Harvard are only Scopus and Sci material, no? Indexing. So this is just an example. I did not contribute this one. I mean, I did not do some effort of telling Harvard, hey, Harvard, include my paper in your library. No. The whole is online is just getting all the journals from, I mean, publication from free open journal and then put them into one. So they have a certain qualifications. Kaya nga before, if you have a few, I mean, if your paper is located na in Hollis, you can say that there is a little quality in your paper because medyo strict ang guidelines ni Hollis, ni Harvard Library before a paper will be included in their library. Okay, so some of my papers are not yet or not in the library of Harvard. So you can do that also. You can try to search some. But again, if your paper is not online, you cannot, your paper will not be included in the library, in the Harvard Library. Okay, so that is why let's make all our effort to make our journals be available online. Because the more available it is, the more opportunity your research paper will be cited. And once it is cited, it will increase your impact factor. Okay. Next to Harvard, let's go to Merlot. It's similar to OCW. It's also an OER. So my recent paper po sa Harvard Library. Oh, congratulations, Ma'am Gina. Okay, so I know the feeling, no? If your paper is listed in Harvard Library. Okay. And then I learned this also when I visited Harvard during my fellowship in the US. Um, say, for example, I'm now on merlot.org. I'm typing it here. You can also try that. So say, for example, digital technology, enter. So there's a lot. Which one do you pick? It can open access. You can go to the material. There is a short description. There is a keyword, and then it will open to another site. Okay, so this is another option. Instead of going to Google, you can filter. Like ako kasi in my case, my research interest is on digital technology, e-learning. So I know all the spaces, the virtual spaces where I can find a good article. No, and then if I am digital technology also, I have specifics. No, let's say for example, digital trust. So there is also a journal for that or an e-library for that. So my suggestion to you is be able to know your network. I mean, your virtual spaces where you can locate, which I will tell you again, part of our discussion in our crash course on how to establish a digital network, no? So that is gonna be easy for you to locate because some of our network also, in my case, in my experience, they will also recommend what is, or there is a good paper, and then the paper is so and so on. No, because once your paper is available online, especially if that is cited, I mean listed na in the Harvard Library, it's gonna be easy to monitor how much citation you will have. This is on top of the Google Scholar citation, which I will also include that into our discussion. So, question so far? Oh, wala. I think manageable because these are basically links that I shared with you. And there are many, no? And there are many. Baka si Mom Jennifer can share something, or maybe you have your own network, or si Dr. Myra, or our colleagues in the IT, no, can also share. Okay. Aside from the online databases, with all of these, it was actually opened by Dr. Carmen. There are malicious links. There are links that are not even the content. No, the content are not in good quality because not all. Hindi naman siya assumed na pag yung paper mo is a Scopus index, it's not necessarily mean that your paper is in really high good quality, because even a conference can apply for a citation index. And if you just have the money, a conference can be cited. I mean, can be included in the database. That is how the business works in the citation. No, even an essay paper can be indexed at a Scopus databases if you will just follow the application, certain term, all those requirements, submit and pay. And pay, then that's the time. For sure, many of you experience here during the Science Direct time when you download. Ako personally, many papers are junk for me. I downloaded it, spent so much. I think I finished 2 weeks to download all those papers that I like, title per title. But when I look at the content, my God, what's this content all about? So I tried to research the how Scopus or how indexing works, and that leads me into an idea na kasama talaga siya into the structure of, the payment, the application, and so on and so forth. Okay, that will lead me that we have to critically evaluate all the content. No, who among you here? Give me a thumbs up if you are familiar with the so-called Bell's list. Anyone familiar with Bell's list? Let me check. Participants. Bell's list, are you familiar? Yeah, si Sir Reyes again. Si Sir Bert, Dr. Myra, familiar also. And many more. No? Bell's list, it's a list of predatory conferences and predatory journals and predatory conferences. Publishers, siguro nagtataka kayo bakit siguro when we submit a paper immediately parang wala pang 1 hour may reviews na siya, no? Or may comment na daw from the reviewer, no? But basically it's automated. You can actually go to that. uh, uh, Dr. Bell is a librarian, and then there was a case with this guy, with this professor, with this librarian, and then in a university, and then and so on and so forth. But to make the story short, it's a good start. It's a good start to check if the conference or if the journal is part in the predatory. What Dr. Bell is doing is he has a criteria, no? He listed a criteria that if journal, say for example, if the journal is released more than the usual, let's say for example, like weekly journal, no? Yan, it's a questionable thing. Because you just imagine doing all the reviews, tapos matapos mo yan in 1 week, not unless you will have tons of reviewers. No? So you can look into that, you can read. No? Just to give you an example, which is very, very funny, and I really read this. There was a paper with, nagiging viral ito in the scientific community. There was a paper called this one. The title of the paper was Get Me Off Your Fucking Mail List. And guess what? The paper was accepted in an international journal of advanced computer technology. Di ba? So you just imagine that. um, well, there's no content really, but the content is only get me off your fucking mail list. And then immediately there was a response. Congratulations, you've been a keynote speaker of your paper entitled "Get Me Off Your Fucking Mail List." Diba? So funny. And then many actually, no, many of us are perhaps victims because we do not know also the business in the journals. While we are challenged to get publications, citations, and etc., patulan na lang kahit kahit predatory. No, but for some, there are also some victims that they really do not know that the journal is not, or the paper or the conference is a predatory activity. There are many literature periodicals that you can read about predatory thing. And then from here, some of the important links, I will put this into the chat box so that you can easily do this, and then I will discuss this one by one. No, the first one, let me put this in the chat box. So this is Bill's list. You can check on that. You can include that in your notes. The next one is Cygen. Let me check this part because this morning it was not working. Let me check. I'm not sure. Wala na talaga. Ma'am Telma, were you able to work with Cygen before? It's not anymore working. For sure, alam to ni Ma'am Telma, Dr. Telma.
Sir, before you, yes.
Yeah. Oo. Ito kasi, just para maging familiar lang ang audience, no? Cygen, this is an automated paper writer. You just imagine that. It's an automated, that one. This is an automated paper. All you have to do is to input your title, I mean your name. And then because of AI, let's say for example, I will input Dave Marshall, alam ni paper generator kung ano yung field of specialization ko, no? And then when you click generate, not working, but yesterday it works. Only this morning now when I reviewed, hindi na siya. Ang mayari talaga is after writing your name, send anyway. May error na siya on my end. After that, there is really a complete paper, my title, and then the title or the content will be taken from your area of specialization. Saan naman kumukuha si Cygen? It will gather all information that will link to your profile. No, how powerful AI on the internet. So it's called Cygen, and many of those predatory are created from this Cygens. Kaya meron naman talagang participants na they also take the opportunity of the predatory because they can pay, no? They can pay like 1,000 US dollars for them to present, equivalent for a ranking. Okay. At my end, Dr. Telma is not anymore working. Okay. Aside from this, please include that into your list. Be careful with that tool. You can read this so that you will have an idea how MIT, this one, how 3 MIT students fooled the world of scientific journal. What they do is they created again mga automated technology. They even have Cypher lets you hide secret messages inside randomly generated calls for paper, meaning they can get into the email, and then in the email system kasi there is a so-called canned response, meaning what is the template of the response, and then the cipher can get into that email and look at behind the message. No? They can that can be monitored. That's how powerful artificial intelligence now on email management or response. If you will ask me, sir, how to let's say evaluate naman if the conference is not predatory or legitimate. The first thing that you should do is for me, ako simple lang, if that is a school operated or uh hosted conference or journal, obviously it's not predatory. Pero pag mga companies oriented na siya, that is the time that you really have to double check the the credibility of the journal, no? This is a guide. The one that I shared with you on the link is a guide for you to be able to check whether the conference is a predatory or not. No, so there are many ways. Say for example, criteria to check. The conference announcement is in your field. Sometimes you will receive a call for paper. You will receive a call for paper which is not within your field. So that means their crawler, their AI just fetch everything that they they can fetch and then email to you. No? How to check knowledge of subject and the professional organizations in your field. Check the scholarly societies project to see if the is listed. And then items of concern, the conference is not in your subject. And then the conference is promoted through spam email, spam. If the conference na like you will see a regular or a periodic call from that company, no, if that is a company based conference or a company based journals, that is the time that you really have to double check. I know one in the Philippines that is listed in the predatory, and it's a long battle because the owner of the journal argued that our journal is a referee journal and our journal in short is not predatory. But based on the criteria of Bells, it's part in the predatory. Kaya medyo magulo ang buhay ni Bell because of that issue on the predatory conferences, journals, and publishers. What is interesting also, many publishers, because their journals are listed in the publisher, I mean in the predatory, then the publisher renamed their journals. And then you will see spelling in between. No, I was also reminded that I know someone na akala niya it was ISI, it was the correct ISI citation, but it was an ISI but has a different meaning, and it was owned by somewhere else, not owned by from the ISI citation. So that is why you have to be very, very careful. Yes, I can give you the site, no, para you will not quote me, and you can say that it's in the list. I'll give you the link of the discussions, where those list of predatory journals in the Philippines. Okay. And we have to be very careful because it's not necessarily Philippine based. Ang ginagawa kasi ng mga business owners ng conferences and journals, they utilize someone, they use someone in the Philippines and then sinasabi na nilang partner, but actually they're just using the name and it's not really a partner. No, they just use the name and then the faculty is being asked to be the keynote speaker and then that's it. But it's still predatory. May mga ganong, shall I say, sorry for the word, modus operandi. I could remember this because when I was the president in the PSITE, we attempted to have a position paper to the Commission Higher Education because 'di ba marami ng mga conference before COVID, maraming mga conferences, international conference and then hosted by blah 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 or organized by, and then di mo makikita yung mga host or mga staff because everything is just, let's say for example, a one-man show, because again these are considered as predatory. As long as you can pay, then you can present. Okay, that's predatory thing. And the last one that I wanted you to include in your list is the literature analytics. Familiar? These are analytics that would help you. Sometimes we have our own keyword, or sometimes we have brilliant idea already and then we were able to write our introduction, then we don't know how to proceed na because you are perhaps loss of words, or you don't know how to continue because you don't have enough literature. There is a so-called literature analytics where when you input, let's say for example, a phrase or a paragraph, the literature, I mean the system will give or recommend a literature based on what you have written. No? So let me share this link. It's called Literature Analytics, and I will post it on the chat box, that one. And let's together, we will open this. Like on my screen, it should look like this. I hope you were able to open that. Search journals, primary sources, and books on JSTOR. This is again a searching mechanism. Go to advanced search. Click on the advanced search. You can either use all the keywords here based again on your keyword. And then you can narrow similar to Google advanced search. No, you can do that. Your other option is this one. Oops, sorry, not words. Here. Oops. Hmm. Okay, here. You can go to tools and then the text analyzer. Again, go to tools, go to just click the one that I chatted on the chat box, www.jstor.org, and then go to tools here, and then text analyzer. Okay, that is text analyzer. So say for example, let me open my any abstract of my paper. Let's say for example, this one, this is my abstract. I will go back here. Okay. I will just place, let's say for example, you're writing na introduction or your abstract or perhaps your research objective, no? You can just paste it here. You can paste it here and then you can click analyze. And then you just have to wait. because JS Store will give you recommendation. So from there, you have a recommendations here, free article, this one. Then you can download na. Oh, di ba? Amazing. You won't have a problem na finding all those literature. No? And then the system also will create topics for you. No, like in my case, based on the abstract, you can find literate article about educational technology. I can find literature about online. Every time that you will click here, the recommendation will also change. So say for example, instructional material selection. Oh, it's changed. No, learning resources like information science. There are also another references. That the topics here are based on the analytics, which is taken from the word or the phrase that I inputted to the system. So again, how to do that? You just click jsstore.org. Once you are at JSTore, let's say this is jsstore.org. Go to tools and then text analyzer. Text analyzer, and then the drag and drop. Put your introduction here. In my case, I just copied and pasted it. Or your objective, no, your research objective. Let's try, no, making a research objective. What is the level of skills? What is the level of e-learning skills among the teachers? Say, for example, that's your research objective one. What is the relationship between skill and engagement? Example lang, no? And then I can click analyze. Clicking analyze, JSTore will recommend. And then he recommended academic aptitude, active learning, blended learning, college students, computer assisted instruction. Di ba relevant yung mind ni JSTore? So I can click active learning. And these are the journals that I can cite about active learning. I can quality of life. I can cite or I can download the materials here. Were you able to try? Because this is really very, very helpful. It's called analytics, meaning it's actually tagal na itong nilo-launch. It's not perfect, but it's a good material to start in searching our literature. Sinong nakapag-try? May nakapag-try ba on the JS Store? So in the text, you can just type your research question and then, or even your title. No, let's try. Let's try to type the title. Text analyzer. Let's say, for example, student ups digital resiliency. Uy, baka you can be part in our global study on digital resiliency in higher education. Digital resiliency in higher education. Okay, just click analyze. And then the system will give you some keywords, no? Business education, continuing education, education politics. It's up to you whether which one do you like. Because all these topics are basically taken from the World Wide Web citation indices. no? Or the so-called indexing. Oh, we have librarians here. Hi to our librarians. Hi to, I think Ma'am Lorna is here. Hi, Ma'am Lorna. No, so that's taken from a universe, and then all those indexing are, taken from that. You can use this. It's a very good tool, especially if, sir, I don't know how to find, or I don't know what's gonna be, how to cite. No, di ba? Sometimes when we write our review of related literature, our advisor will tell us, categorize your literature according to theme. Then that's the next question, bang, how to make the theme in the literature. This is a good way to start finding a good theme for your literature based on your review, based on your objective. So may mga suggestion pa like prioritized terms, Higher Education Act, educational history, education policy, prison, education programs, open education. Sometimes this will lead me to a new term, a new topic, and then sometimes I find it irrelevant. So let's say for example, prison education program. Bakit kaya, no? So I usually search Google, and then may mga standards na kasi na may mga research areas that they group together, and within the, and so on and so forth, no? Like for us in the IT, we have the so-called ACM standards, where all the indexing topics, research areas are grouped according to specialization, category, and according to the said standard. In relation again to, di ba, familiar tayo with Seoul Accord, Bologna Accord. You check out your own accord because they have some standards in terms of prioritization in the research topics.